Hi there folks, and welcome to the Word Solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour, issue number 215. So everyone surely yesterday was celebrating International Bacon Day. So what we're doing is we're revisiting that age-old question, which sauce is better in a bacon sandwich, ketchup or brown sauce? So there was a survey of 15,400 people and 60% of them preferred ketchup to brown sauce. So what percentage of the voters preferred brown sauce? Well, all the people come to 100%. So of course if 60% prefer ketchup, then we can work out the percentage that prefer brown sauce by taking 60 away from 100% to get 40%. So part B, we've actually to calculate how many people from the survey preferred ketchup. In other words, we've to work out 60% of 15,400. So probably the best way is we can find 20% first of all by dividing by 5, because 20 goes into 105 times exactly, and 60% is 3 lots of 20%. So once we've got 20%, we can just multiply that by 3 to get an answer of 9,240 people. But of course there was a few other strategies you could have used there. So based on these percentages, how many pupils in a class of 30 should prefer ketchup and should prefer brown sauce? Well, for ketchup, it's going to be 60% of 30. So we can use a similar strategy to the previous part by dividing by 5 and timesing by 3. So that's going to be 6 times 3, which is 18 pupils. And to get the brown sauce pupils, we can find 40% if we wish by dividing by 5 or timesing by 2. But of course we can just take away the 18 from the total number of pupils in the class. So that's going to be 12 pupils. And I wonder if your class, when you did this vote, tied in with those percentages. Okay, so in sport, we've got Mo Farah setting the first world record of his career for the furthest distance travelled in an hour, so 21.33 kilometres compared to 21.285 kilometres set by Halil Gebrselassie way back in 2007. So by how much has Mo broken this record? So of course, we're just going to do a takeaway there. Now, if you're doing this as a sum without a calculator, when we're taking away decimal numbers with different places, we need to make sure that we carefully line up the decimal points. So if we do that, the 2 is going to go under the first 3, the 8 is going to go under the second 3, but of course it's going to leave us with like a space up here. So we could fill that out with a 0 if we wanted to. And I would strongly recommend it. So 0 thousandths, so we can actually put a 0 in as the placeholder. So 0 take away 5 we can't do, so we're going to take 1 off the 3 and make it 2, and we're going to drop that 1/100th down so it becomes 10 thousandths. So we're then going to do 10 take away 5, which is 5, 2 take away 8 we can't do, so we're going to take a tenth off to get 2 tenths and drop 1/10th down so it becomes 10 hundredths. So that gives us 12 hundredths, take away 8 hundredths, which is 4 hundredths. 2 take away 2 is 0. We need to of course make sure we put in the decimal point, and then just 1 take away 1 is 0 and 2 take away 2 is 0. So that gives us a winning margin by 0.045 kilometres, because of course we should always put our units in for a numeracy question. So a new world record this week. Walkers have made the longest ever puffcorn crisp, or what's it to be precise, 10.66 metres. In fact, you'd imagine it would be difficult for any other company to break this record, or any other person for that fact. So we've got a wee estimating and rounding task here. It's supposed to be a bit of fun. We've been asked how many Watsits does an average bag contain, because they're not all going to contain exactly the same amount, but Walkers have confirmed an average number that you should expect to find in a bag of Watsits. So let's see who get closest. The official total is 42. So extending that, can you then guess how many Haribo you would get in a bag of Star Mix? Of course, the average number, so there could be a wee bit more, a wee bit less, but this is the figure you should expect to find. So that's 57 Star Mix in a bag. So I wonder how close you got to those two answers. And then to top it off with cornflakes, now Kellogg's couldn't confirm an actual number for us, but what there was a man on a YouTube video that counted the contents of 100 different boxes of cornflakes. Sounds like he's got an awful lot of time in his hands, and the figure that he came up with 7,122 cornflakes in a box. So I wonder how close you got to that one. Okay, on to our last story. So Ed Sheeran's become a dad, and what fantastic way to reminisce in this maths quiz that the BBC made him sit. So Ed professes to be bad at maths. We don't like these messages going out by celebrities, but never mind. So let's see what the answers to these questions are to see how you go on with it. So number one, what's the square root of 81? So that's going to be 9 because 9 times 9 is 81. So question 2, we're asked which is bigger, 2 cubed or a quarter of 28. So 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And to find a quarter of 28, we do 28 divided by 4, which is 7. So 2 cubed is bigger. So number 3, we're asked what is pi rounded to 3 decimal places, because of course pi has an infinite number of digits after the decimal point. So it's 3.14159265 etc. But to 3 decimal places, well, the first 4 is 3.1415, so the 5's actually going to round the 1 up to a 2, so it's going to be 3.142. Number 4, the first two angles in a triangle are 45 degrees and 70 degrees. What is the size of the third? So all three angles in a triangle must add up to 180. So we add the 45 and the 70 to get 115, and then take that away from 180 to get 65 degrees. So for number 5, 10% off an album, how much would it cost? So we find 10% by dividing by 10 to get £1.20, and then we take that off the £12 to get a final answer of £10.80. So how did you get on? And if you want to see how Ed got on, all you have to do is type that wee YouTube clip into your internet browser just to watch how Ed got on. If you want me to spoil the surprise, I will. So switch the video off immediately if you don't want the surprise spoiled for you. He got all of them right, apart from question number 4. So there you have it, folks, our Word Solutions for this week's edition. We hope you enjoyed solving these problems, and stay tuned for next week's edition when we're going to be looking at more stories from the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and bye for now.